Alright. Yeah, it's going to be incredibly valuable to have that matrix editing tool. Alright. So let's copy our training template and make lots of training missions. So many of these. I'll just put 10 in every one of these categories, and then I'll name them all accordingly and set up all the unlocks properly. Pretty much, I'm just going to build the scaffolding and make the missions all exist. Hello, Kerkan. What's cooking? Missions are cooking. All right. That's kind of upsetting. Why is 10 before 01? Grr. If we change this to just 1, would that be better? Yeah, okay, so we should use that convention instead for everything. Oh my god. I'm just gonna have to turn off source control here in a bit, aren't I? I'll fix these one by one. This is just tedious. I need to get better with using this editor in a non-tedious way. The problem with tedious crap is that sometimes it's comfortable to use tools in a tedious fashion because you know what to expect. So you get into this habit of just like, oh, well, you know, I don't have to do jack shit if I just edit this file and then run this thing. I can just sit here and do nothing for 5 minutes and I'm doing my job of waiting. I don't know. People are strange, and I am also strange. Alright, so we go to Asset Actions, Bulk Edit. So we want the name, the locked name, Alright, so we've got our names for everything. Mission name. Okay, so this is going to be... It's a little bit cumbersome, but hello, Adam. Yeah, so the property window. Basically, how you use it is if you open up a regular asset, you can open up the property matrix just by going and clicking on the thing, but that's not really how you're supposed to do it. How you're supposed to do it is you select the objects you want in the editor, right click, asset actions, bulk edit, and then it'll pop up. There's no way to save any of the layouts or any of that other crap, so that's just how it is. And then basically just go over and you pretty much, it's meant to be just a bulk editing tool. So like you have to select individual objects. So like debug01 doesn't have an unlock condition, but debug02 does. So you have to go click on like one that has one, and then go pin that thing up there, and then you can see all the things that are unlocked. And so it's a little bit finicky, but it works. So like edit all the training missions that I just made, asset actions, bulk edit, and you can't like add anything on here or anything. So it's not the most amazing thing on the planet, but it's pretty not bad, so that's good. So yeah, I can, have all these unlocked names and all this sort of stuff. All right. Yeah, no saving of layout is kind of stupid, but it seems like what it's meant for is it's just meant to be a bulk editing tool, and you're supposed to just get kind of good at using it to select what you want, which kind of makes sense to me. Like, you could set up very rigid editor sort of things, but then if you change the structure of the underlying element, then like you'd have to redo all this setup work for everything. So if you just get good at clicking the options you want then you know you just get better at it. So I can see where they're coming from with all that. How do I edit all these at once? Like, can I just add one here? And then for all of these... Okay, so it's a bit finicky, especially with arrays and other stuff, but it's not the worst thing on the planet. I think we'll be okay with it. Hello, Mind Rage. How am I doing today? I am doing well. Just starting to put together the missions themselves, so I can go back and actually fill them in. So, like right now, I've got these training missions. Oh man, the missions are not sorted nicely. Like they're sorted by name, so they're alphabetical. But the problem is training 1 and then training 10 as opposed to 10 being after it. How is our sorting being done by our missions? We just go through every mission. So the issue is going to be that when we load up our missions, that we're sorting them? Let me see. Yeah, so the issue is that when we get this guy in here, we need to actually sort alphabetically on these objects. So The other thing would be to have an actual sort order field. I think alphabetical... No. Like if we go here, all of these names need to be unique names, right? So we could sort by the mission name itself, not the display name. And we could probably keep that alphabetical. So all these are like training 1 through 10, and you just, do it that way. What implication would that have? It would mean mission 9 and mission 10. If you wanted to swap them, you'd have to change them. That wouldn't be too bad because you could copy paste, but the issue would be copy pasting twice. A sort order field. I mean, the other thing is you have to actually like type in the sort order for all the shit. But at the same time, that's not too awful. I think I need to add a sort order field then. Everything's always more complicated than it appears to be. Alright, see you when you get back or whatever. Nothing too exciting going on. Alright, so we gotta compile it out there. Alright. If he gets back. Oh, he's got other stuff he's working on. Doing the bobs. Working on those bobs and those burgers. So my goal for today is to get to the 100 mission mark, scaffolded out. So 100 missions, they're all the same mission or whatever. And so I can actually start making the missions tomorrow. So I want to get to the point where I'm literally just, okay, now I just need to sit down and enter the values. Every one of these missions is playable. All the scaffolding, such as this mission unlocks this mission, is done. I want to have mission names Or it would be best if I could get mission names in there. So I could kind of figure out what I wanted the missions to be. Alright, so let's do a calculation here. So, if there are 100 missions, alright, let's just say 8 hours, right? So 8 times 60, that's how many minutes? I got 480 minutes. So if I do 100 of those, I have to average 5 minutes per mission to get 100 missions done in 8 hours. And that's if I don't do anything except data entry. That's not much time per mission, right? Quick, make a sub-level and add things to it. You know, start the clock. Fuck. What's the ball linear velocity? I don't know. 12. Shit. Testing. Hell no. We're not going to test any of these damn things. Shit. Can I procedurally generate it? Well, yeah, that's... We already have procedurally generated missions that we've all put together, so we do all that. The problem is, of course, that every one of these missions really should be handcrafted a bit. We already have all the game options and tunables and stuff like that, so it's... So the next thing, as a manager, you would think, how do I get how do I outsource this? Quick, Karakan, go make me 10 missions. Get back. They got to be done by Thursday, 5 p.m., or they're not getting into the update. That's what we need. So we'll see. Yeah, Adam and I had talked a little bit about if we wanted to ship the editor at all to people, if there would be anybody who would be interested in making any content for the game, in such as, you know, we've got missions and crap here. You know, somebody could go make that. But if we ship the editor, it's a little bit too powerful. Like, the editor can make the game, right? So it's a bit of an issue. I like how the sort order of the name here is wrong. Or it's inconsistent. Alright, so we got all those. And that's actually not too bad to edit. That's pretty cool. The editor can even delete System 32. It's true. It can... The editor can go fuck up a lot of stuff for you. What kind of mission do you need? Yeah, no, it's all the kinds of missions. I went over all the different mission things. Good job, Vizio. You did it. You did it, Vizio. You crashed. You did exactly what you're supposed to do in all this, right? But yeah, I came up with the mission categories and cool moments that we want in the missions, and broke out the categories and kind of put like goals, like tutorial mission is a mission that creates an environment in which the player can explore the game. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of bullshit, but working on it. Okay, so we need to sort the mission lines accordingly. So let's see what this is going to look like right now. It shouldn't do it. Right click the wrong thing and poof, now your CPU is ARM based. Ah, shit. Damn. How could this be? Let's see. Does the category object actually have a mission line on it? We've got emissions. Alright, so we are actually... The mission line is... Where is this.m missions attach? Okay. Bob's is over for the day? Ah, very good, sir. Quick, hide the burgers. And not the ones that cause bureaucracy. Alright, let's see how this should have the same sort order as we already do. Yeah, which is not the sort order, but that's fine. All we need to do is implement a sort method. So let's go implement that sort method inside of the finalize function on this guy. So this dot so what is this? This is going to be left dot mission.sort order, and this will be right in mission sort order. So that should sort those guys for us. What JavaScript engine are we using? We're not using a JavaScript engine. Let's see. I'm pretty much just, I'm not using any real JavaScript frameworks or anything. This is just some basic stuff. But of course, it's Chromium for the actual web window and everything like that. So what is sort order? Is that not even working here? Because I would assume this sorts, but it didn't actually sort it, did it? I bet I know what's going on here. I bet I haven't exported my missions. There it goes. Cool. So we have our sort order set. Alright, I was like, why is everything unlocked? It should definitely be locked. Alright, so all the training stuff is there. Alright, I'm gonna add another thing in here for don't show missions that have shipping marked false. Alright, so we shouldn't see any of the template missions then. Ship mission is false. Alright. Can I set all of these to the same value? Or do I have to go down the list? Alright, so there we go. There's all of our mission stuff. So let's see if there's an easier way to just copy paste these missions. Alright, so Control 1, Control 2. Control 3. And it's just so finicky. This is where you wish you had 3 hands, because there's just too many stupid things to do. Alright. Hello and welcome to 8 hours of data entry. The stream. Don't worry. I kill myself in the end of it. So, it looks like people are curious about the animation stuff. I don't think it was the first one. Like, he's got some other ones, like he's got the hitchhiker or whatever, right? A few other things. Alright, so we got movement. Now we're going to want solo. I don't know, every time now I'm entering solo here, I think of the movie Solo that's coming out, which is, it's like, yeah, go in Disney, gonna take all the money, we get it. I really think they should have just cast Harrison Ford as Han Solo in Solo, and not even like put any makeup on him to make him look younger. Just not give a shit and just have like old Han Solo, just in his own prequel adventure. That would be amazing. You know, this is why I'm not in charge of those decisions, because I would do things like that. Solo 2, Solo 3. Like, wasn't that because Water Lilies was one of them that was like super popular on Newgrounds, and people were super impressed by it? That was like the breakout or whatever. I don't remember. I was like, 3 years old at that point. Alright, solo, and then we've got team. Yeah, it was top list. Yeah, it was. And those are definitely the days, like back before they locked everything down on school computers and the internet was just new and everything. And people like topless on sites like Newgrounds wasn't just like a bunch of shit. It was actual good content. Like imagine something like we have more modern social media things like Facebook and Reddit and crap like that. There's no like real all-time boards on there. So if you made something amazing, sure, it's gonna get to the top of one of these social media things, but it's not gonna stay there for very long. It'll be like, well, that was yesterday. That was last week. So instead, there's no incentive to make anything complicated because it's not gonna be there for more than like 2 fucking minutes. So you end up with social media making it easier to share content. It makes it so the content overall is worse. Alright, team 3. And movement. Alright, so we got scoring. Do we have scoring? We don't have scoring, so I need scoring. I still wish they had done the same thing with Star Wars. Like, they had, instead of making, like, all these new Star Wars stories and shit like that, they should have just taken the Timothy Zahn stories. Things like that. Fucking dumbass Star Wars. It ruined it. At least they didn't ruin it as bad as, like, Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones got destroyed. Fucking refrigerator. It's okay, guys. Hide in the fridge. That'll protect us from the nuclear explosions. Alright. Nostalgia's a bitch. Yeah, that's true. Also, I think that was one of the things, like, when we went on vacations as a family, which there weren't very many of them, and most of them were awful. But when we did go on vacations as a family, we would, in the car, listen to audiobooks. So scoring, movement, control, solo, team, impossible, debug, training. Yeah. So we would we listened to audiobooks of probably like Star Trek and Star Wars and those things because there were so many of them and they were not awful. So I definitely liked. I have memories of those things. Excellent. So, the next thing is we go to these control things. MS training. What? If I go to control 1, The asset file names. So they didn't change the asset file names on disk. Great. Alright, so I'm going to turn off source control. Let me see, this is control 1, so... I just got to go through these all over again, don't I? Annoyance! Yeah, everything will eventually come to the end except for The Simpsons. But The Simpsons still has like forever to go on things like Gunsmoke or whatever, right? But who really gives a damn? Like, I think there was like comparing different running lengths of TV series or whatever. There's like normal stuff, The Simpsons, and then soap operas. Like, I think but there were some soap operas where there's so many goddamn episodes of it that they like just lost things. You know, and it's in this day and age, it's kind of like, what do you mean lost? Like nothing's really lost anymore with the internet. And it's like, no, like literally, like this was before the times. It's fucking ancient history where the only people you'd have to go around and the bane of housewives. They got to do something all day, right? I guess that's sexist. But I don't give a shit. Alright, so we got that. Alright, so this is movement. MS movement 1. Naming conventions, how do they work? I don't think I've ever actually seen a soap opera episode. And I don't really think I'll start. Teach housewives how to program and they will definitely not run out of things to... Yeah, that's one thing that's pretty awesome about programming is there's really no end to it. You know, like you can always make something better, and since everything's virtual, you know, like you don't actually have to like, oh, I'm gonna make a grasslands or something. You know, you don't actually have to go physically create all that. It's not expensive in terms of capital, so you can basically turn time into value and content, and that's excellent. I mean, that was one of the things that they thought engineers were going to be women back in like the 50s or whatever. They thought all the programmers are going to be women because it's such a repetitive thing that, you know, men would do something else. So those were all those TV shows where they'd have like a big computer and then a whole bunch of secretary types working on them. because it was such a repetitive task, like actually programming everything. So it's interesting to see the opposite. Your mom actually did computers first. The same thing. Like my mom did computer stuff before my dad. Like my dad, hey, computers are not a big thing. Like they are now, since I got him like a gigantic monitor that is like I got him like a 35-inch monitor or something, like a big curved LCD. It was like a 37-inch LCD screen for him. And now he uses his computer because it's like this fucking massive thing. And he likes that, but he's man, tough to get that guy to use any electronics. And this is where it can sometimes be a lot easier to just be using text to edit a whole bunch of data, because you can use text editing tools and all sorts of stuff to help you out, and having binary formats and this sort of stuff is kind of... Your dad can't even operate a TV properly? Shit, that's gonna be a... He's got people for that. Just yell at the random passersby, "Hey, change the channel. I don't want to watch this crap." But then again, television stuff is pretty ridiculous. And we obviously need 4 different remotes for 5 different systems, and one of them's always out of batteries. Can you outsource the task? Yeah, we can get a Mechanical Turk. That's we need more jobs for millennials. We'll just turn into remotes for for old folks. Guy needs something from the fridge. It's like, yeah, we used to have